Hey folks, welcome to another episode of What It Is. I'm Kelly McKinney of Hohenheim Productions.
And I'm Josh Gibson of Fourth Wall Players.
And this time we're here to talk to you about basically the season 3 of You, which I believe, if I remember correctly, is a Netflix series.
That's right, we're watching You.
Yep, I have seen
my eye on You.
Seasons 1 and 2. And 1 and 2 were pretty good. They could have ended it at the end of 2, and we could have been like, we know the character well enough that we can imagine what's going to happen. Now they're bringing us season 3, and they're going to show us. And this is where I, as a fan and just knowing sort of the history of these sort of shows, like where things can go wrong. Mm-hmm. Okay, and pushing it into a season 3. So what I wanted to do is take a look at the IMDb page, and without season 3 might actually be live right now. And so without having watched any of season 3, I want to try to discern if there's going to be major differences between the first 2 seasons and the upcoming 3rd season based on writers, directors, producers. Mm-hmm. Okay, because we already know that. I'm pretty sure the cast hasn't changed at all. So taking a look at this, seasons 1 and 2 are primarily written by Sarah Gamble. That's who's developed the series, seemed to be the showrunner.
Oh my, Greg Berlanti. That's the Arrowverse guy.
Oh, is it?
I mean, one of them.
Oh. And so when you go to Sarah Gamble's page, and when it comes to writing credits for You find that 2021, okay, basically has 1 episode that seems to be that. Well, and it seems to be the one that the first. No, this is the first episode of season 1.
Okay,
and they lived happily ever after. Right now, that's her only writing credit for the whole series. Which can be a huge issue,
right? When
you take the person who. So what I'm seeing is from this already is bad news. That season 3 may just be a cash grab trying to capitalize off of a first 2 beautifully written season series. You know what I mean? Like the first 2 seasons were great. So I'm worried. At the same time, it looks like they may have kept the same director. For Silver Tree, which I'm very unfamiliar with the director. I've never heard the name Silver Tree. But when I take a look at the IMDb page for Silver Tree and what they've directed, you've got You, a bunch of episodes, a few episodes from Shameless, a few episodes from Dead to Me, Grace and Frankie, Suits, Atypical, Lethal Weapon, which I didn't see. Bones is on here. What we've got is we have a list of really great shows that this person has directed, that Silver Tree has been a part of. So the directing should be spot on for season 3, but I'm worried about the writing and where they're going to go with the story, because if the developing writer didn't have the same touches in the 3rd season as they did in seasons 1 and 2, that says to me that the writer, an initial developer of the series, may have only had 2 seasons planned.
Right.
And so, again, forcing more of the show onto us with different writers could be troublesome.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I guess it depends on how much in the creative/consulting process that she would be involved in. I mean, you have certain shows that go on forever that have a bunch of different writers and directors per episode. I mean, Supernatural, something else she's worked on, Sarah Gamble's worked on, is another example of that. But that's why generally shows like that have what they call like a showrunner. Like Joss Whedon was really popular for doing that, where they don't necessarily write that many episodes themselves or direct, but they do oversee, and they kind of have, they kind of have say in how things are supposed to go together, and they kind of choose which scripts they want to adapt.
Right.
So I guess it just kind of depends. I don't know how much control Sarah Gamble has over this season, or if she's not writing a lot because she's moved on to something else, or what's going on.
Yeah, that's a good possibility too. Right, yeah, right. We don't know the full story for sure about it, but it's just, I feel like there's a lot here to go on for speculation. And then also, I'm just thinking of examples in the past where this has happened, where a change in the showrunner or who is influencing the writing makes the show a discombobulated mess. One of those examples would be Smash.
Yeah, my gosh, season 2 was...
Yeah, season 2. I loved the...
Discombobulated mess was what you should... Yeah, definitely. Which is bad, because that's when they introduced Jeremy Jordan, who I love.
Yes, he's amazing.
Another good example is Community, season 4, when they fired Dan Harmon. And another good example of that is like Community, with Dan Harmon getting fired, going into season 4, and that kind of... It wasn't that it was, like, awful, but it was kind of like... And I'd have to look into this to see if it was the same issue, but Scrubs, going from season 3 to 4, was the same way. Like, it still had funny bits, it still had decent episodes, but, like, something was just missing, like some sort of charisma or some sort of energy.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like they were just trying to redo stuff that made them popular in the first place.
Yeah.
Right? And that Community kind of went through the same thing. So I see what your concern is for that. As far as like how more modern shows are written, because they're usually done in like 8 to 10 episode arcs, like for Netflix series and whatnot, I can't really speak as to like when they usually lose their appeal, but I just know in general, like throughout history, it's usually like after season 3 is when you have that threat of having a big drop off.
Yeah.
Some shows recover from it, and some don't, and most don't. But
and this would be for me a question of person who developed a show, how far they planned on actually taking it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I had heard once that like most people when they plan out a TV series, they plan a 3-season arc.
Right.
Because that's considered a successful run.
Yeah. Well, when I have When the Quiet Comes right now, I only have 2 seasons planned for it myself. I
am personally a big believer in not being afraid to have shorter running material, like depending on like Lost found itself again in the end, but let's be honest, like it should not have gone on as long as it did. And you should have just been a simple little TV, not simple, but it should have just been a television series about them on the island
that actually concluded.
That actually finished. That's how much we hate Lost. Babies cry when we talk about it.
So what do you think, what do you expect from You season 3, and if you're already currently watching it or have binged it, then what do you think? Did it have some misdirection? Was it discombobulated?
Like his sentence.
Did it do what my mouth did?
What?
Did it do what that mouth do?
Is that hi. Did Hohen send you? Did he say that? Look, I'm kind of busy right now, so I don't really have a lot of time to answer a lot of your questions. Just like and subscribe and... What? Well, yeah, no. Oh, yes, we have a Hohenheim Patreon, and yes, we sell merchandise. So go there and check it out. Go on. I'm busy.